So today's devotional says, which is so perfect, as this book always is, I am preparing you for what is on the road ahead, just around the bend. Take time to be still in my presence so that I can strengthen you. The busier you become, the more you need this time apart with me. So many people think that time spent with me is a luxury they can't afford. As a result, they live and work in their own strength until it becomes depleted. Then they either cry out to me for help or they become bitter and turn away. How much better it is to walk close to me, depending on my strength and trusting me in every situation. If you live in this way, you will do less but accomplish so much more. Your unhurried pace of living will stand out in this crazy, rushed world. Some people may deem you as lazy, but many will be blessed by your peacefulness. Walk in the light with me, and you will reflect me in a watching world. So obviously I think we're all kind of waiting on something or hoping for something or kind of curious to see what's around the bend for us next. And I just want to leave like this little bit of truth with you. It's not about God can do anything. So it's not like he can't do something for you. It's will he do something for you? And so many times when we go into prayer, I want you to keep that on your mind, like he can do it. So what you're asking, there's no problem at all. But being a child of God is walking in his will. So that's keeping a listening ear for the possibility of him saying no. And also, he wants to give us the desires of our heart. So even if it's a no, you are his child, and he will fulfill that desire of your heart in a way that you never saw coming, tenfold. So when you pray, keep that in mind, that he can and he will. It's just not going to look the way you think it will. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm so thankful sometimes it turns out the way he wanted it to turn out, not me, because I don't know anything. So I'm just going to close with reading these Bible verses at the bottom. So it's Isaiah 64:4, John 15:5, and Psalm 36:9. So Isaiah 64:4 says, "Since ancient times no one has heard, no ear has perceived, no eye has seen any God besides you, who acted on behalf of those who wait for him. You, God, come to help for those who do right." So you come to help. He comes to help you for those people who are not perfect, who don't stumble, but who try and who walk with the Lord. And he comes to help in every situation and in every trouble. He walks right beside us. And then the second one, John 15:5, "I am the vine and you are the branch. If you remain in me, you will bear much fruit." And we all know the fruits of the Spirit, which is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, and self-control. "Apart from me, you can do nothing. If you do not remain in me, you are like a branch that withers away. Such branches are picked up, thrown into the fire, and burned. If you remain in me, and my word remains in you, ask whatever you want, and it will be given to you." So back to what I was saying. He can do anything. Ask him whatever you want. And a lot of times, too, I don't know about you guys, but like I kind of have a tiny brain, and I can't even like completely put together what I want. And then all of a sudden, it'll pop up, and I'll be like, that's exactly what I wanted, times more. And I didn't even pray that full prayer. And that's just how he works, because the Holy Spirit intercedes for us and groans for us and communicates to God for us, because we have accepted that Holy Spirit into our souls now. And if you remain in me, so remaining in God means that you're not this perfect Christian and you're awesome at everything and you lift everybody up. It means that you're communicating with God on a daily basis. He is your number one. He is your best friend, your first love, your point of truth. And you screw up all the time, and you know it, but you're fighting for that screw up. You're fighting for that sin that's off in you. And sin doesn't mean that we're gonna be perfect for the rest of our life. It means we've declared war on what's wrong with us, and because it separates us from God. And I actually had a moment of this last night where I was like, wow, this is a true verse, because I try to remain in the Lord every single day. I communicate with him all day long. I don't know if you guys do. So even if I'm parking, I'm like, Lord, I pray you get a parking spot. Yeah. Or my prayers are more intense, where I pray for my grandma or my parents, and it's more heartfelt. So that's what it means to remain in him, that you're having these touch points with him all day long in every single situation, in every single encounter, in every single way. Doesn't mean that you're reading these long, lofty prayers, and that's good too, but you're communicating with him. So I stink at self-control. I'm an Italian, full-blooded, crazy woman. You guys haven't seen that side of me. My husband sees it all the time. Okay, so we got one. My husband sees it all the time. So he told me yesterday that he was going to do the dishes. And Michelle went into labor. And he got home, and those dishes weren't done. I walked in the house, and I was like, oh, he's going to have it. And, like, I don't know, like, type A people, like, you know, emergencies don't matter. Like, if you say you're going to get something done, get it done. Like, that's just how I operate, you know. So I come in, the dishes aren't done, and I'm like, okay. And he comes home, he's like, hey, and I'm just, like, spewing. I'm like, okay, just take a moment. And he's, like, you know, next to me, like, cooking stuff, and I'm like, and I'm just about to say something, you know, like, not about the dishes, because I'm really working on my self-control. And he's like, you know what? I don't want to hear it. I know where you're going with this. I don't want to hear it. You're so negative. I've had a day. And I'm like, oh, I wasn't even going to say that. And I don't know about you guys, but then when somebody kind of calls you out or gets mad at you and you're trying to practice your self-control, it just makes it 10 times worse, right? So I just, like, I'm sure he could see steam coming out of my ears. I just reeled it in, and I marched in the bathroom. I, like, was just like, oh, I was so mad. I was so mad. I just wanted to let him have my dish story. And we went to bed, and I was sitting in bed, and I was like, I did it. Like, I actually, like, kept it to myself. Like, to meet you guys, I don't understand. That's a huge victory in my book. Huge. And I tell my clients this all the time, my people that I personal train with, small victories equal one lifelong change. Small victories equal one lifelong change. So that small victory was 1,000-fold in a successful marriage. Not a perfect marriage, a successful marriage. So yes, if you remain in God, you start actually doing these, you start bearing the fruit, which is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, and self-control. So I'm proof of that. And then the last one, Psalm 36:9. For with you is the fountain of life. In your light we see light. One more time. With you is the fountain of life. So with you and in you is water, which we need. We need that to live. We can't go without it. It sustains us every single day, gives us nourishment, provides us clarity, gives us peace, allows us to move throughout the day. And in your light, we see light. So in your goodness, we see goodness. In your truth, we see truth. In Jesus, we see how we're meant to walk and how we're supposed to build people up and be nice to our enemies and kind to the people who are difficult and withhold bouts of anger and all you want to do is scream. So in your light, we see light. And when we see light, we change.